and get us started. So again, my name is Joy Smith. I'm the admissions coordinator for the James Worth Bagley College of Engineering at Mississippi State. The College of Engineering here has 8 departments and 13 majors. We are very excited about our 13th major that's going to be starting in the fall of 2021, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But we're one of about 40 named colleges of engineering across the nation. So what we do is we are known for producing some of the best practical engineers in the market. So that means a very top tier theoretical education, but you also receive that very hands-on practical application to go into the workforce. What we pride ourselves on. And so, again, what tonight's event is going to be talking about is our ways to optimize your education in the College of Engineering at Mississippi State, along with our partnership with the College of Business and the fact that we are very much involved with our Shackles Honors College. So to get us started tonight, we're going to really just kind of talk about preparing to launch. How are you going to launch into your future? The first step is Maroon at Midnight. August 1st, 2021 at 12:01 Central Standard Time. That is when the application for fall and summer 2022 will open up. It's weird to say 2022, I know. But that is what you need to be preparing for. Whether Mississippi State is on the top of your list, which we hope we are, or, we're somewhere in the middle, or, we might be at the bottom. I understand. I'm not naive to think that you're only looking at one school. If you are, that's fantastic. But more than likely, you're not. You need to apply to Mississippi State early. And we'll talk about reasons why that's important a little bit later, but we are getting you ready to launch. So understanding what's available to you and ways to really kind of make your education your own are what's really going to help you launch into that future. So our first partner this evening is going to be Kelsey Walker. Kelsey is the Assistant Director of Recruiting and Events with our College of Business. So I'm going to hand it over to Kelsey.
Thanks, Joy. I didn't expect to be staring at my face on this presentation, so good picture. Hey, y'all, my name's Kelsey, like Joy said, and I do work with the College of Business. But as Joy mentioned earlier, we actually partner really heavy with our College of Engineering here on campus. And this whole entire event is really centered around trying to make sure that you realize when you're here for the 4 to 5 years that you're here, you're really making the most of your time on campus and kind of building out your tool belt as much as you possibly can so that when you get out into the workforce, out into the real world, you have all these different things to offer your employers or your employees as you move into your career. So there's a couple of different ways that the College of Business actually partners with our College of Engineering. First, we do have an entrepreneurship minor as well as our business administration minor that's available to every major. Entrepreneurship minor is really popular, especially if you are creative and want to use your very technical skills that you're going to learn in engineering to partner with companies that are going to be building startups. So we do have the Venture Catalyst program on campus within our e-center to where you can actually get funded, very similar to Shark Tank, but you can get funded up to $7,500 and then move on to our angel network, who has actually helped over 20 of our students become millionaires before the age of 25. So if that's what you want to do, you can absolutely jump on that bandwagon and take off. We also have a dual degree, which Joy may talk about a little bit later, with our industrial engineering program, where you actually get a dual degree in industrial engineering as well as business administration. There was a lot of crossover in those 2 degrees already with some of the coursework. So we figured out that a lot of our students were interested in rounding those 2 degrees out. So we started offering that this last year. But the big thing that I want to talk to y'all about is actually our MVP program. This is called the MBA Venture Pathway Program. This is for STEM students only. So it's a very elite program. You have to be in a competitive admissions pool, so a high ACT or SAT score and a competitive GPA. There's also an essay, but we know our engineers don't like to write a whole lot of essays, so they're very brief. They're very small essays. But the point of this program is to get about 40 students each class that matriculate through the program together. They take 1 class each semester that's focused on business, and it actually hits the prerequisites to apply for the Master's of Business Administration upon your graduation. So you can have an undergraduate degree in the engineering degree of your choice, then stick around for an extra year to get the MBA. What we've seen a lot of students do with this is that you're actually kind of getting to dabble in both worlds because you're becoming an expert as an engineer and getting all that technical talk, learning how to speak to other engineers, learning how to problem solve, and take on those tasks. But then you're also able to sit on the other side of the desk and understand budgets, marketing schemes, things like that, so that you can actually take on more administrative roles, as well as kind of walk that fine line between engineer and administrator. So we've actually seen students be able to take this and kind of launch their career ahead a little bit more quickly, because they do have the 2 degrees in anywhere between 5 to 6 years, depending on if you co-op. So it's a really kind of easy way to just set yourself apart, and you get an extra football season by staying on campus for 1 more year. So that's always a bonus. That being said, it is, like I said earlier, a competitive program, so you do have to apply. I'm sure Joy will touch on this a little bit later, but the big competitive scholarship deadline for Mississippi State is December 1st. And that's going to be the deadline that we actually start using to invite students to apply for MVP. So don't worry if this is the only time you hear about this until later on in the fall. And then you're like, wait, that girl talked about that one program. The invitations will go out after the December deadline, so that we can make sure we have the biggest pool of candidates. And then you actually have until February to complete the application. And then we make our announcements mid-March to April about who's been selected for the class. So if you're interested at all in talking more about the program or possibly applying, we'd love to see you. So this is all of my contact information listed here. A couple of things that I've had students like concern wise about the program, because engineering is a very labor intensive and love intensive program, right? Like, you're choosing this major because you want to push yourself. But it also means that you're going to be a dedicated student. And so I know the concern is, can I handle this, especially if I want to be in Greek life or student government or the Space Cowboys program or whatever other organization you may want to join. This is absolutely not meant to be a burden. It's meant to be an additive to your experience. So it's only a 1 hour class every week. So it's just one time a week that you actually meet. If you are on your co-op or if you are on an internship of any kind, even before all of us went virtual for everything, we were already offering independent studies and virtual experiences for some of these classes, because we know that your engineering responsibilities come first, but we want to make sure you stay on track with the program. So it's very easy to work with you on that stuff. And we have students that are in here. One student in particular is an engineering major. He's in the Shackles Honors College. He's on the track team. He just got a prestigious scholarship award, all of these wonderful things. We're all talking about Reese Dunn, great kid. But you have an opportunity to really kind of dive into the deep end of being one of our really well-rounded and involved students on campus. And this is a great way for you to kind of make those connections. So I'd love to see y'all when we're out and about on the road this year. Come up and talk. Joy and I typically set up our tables very close to each other so we can chit chat in between students. But if y'all ever have questions or want to talk about anything, or if any of your friends want to study business, feel free to send them all of my information. And I hope I see y'all on campus very soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelsey. So one of the biggest questions I get whenever I'm meeting with prospective engineering students, they ask me a lot about our honors college. And so tonight, what I really wanted to be able to, again, one of the questions that I get from prospective students all the time, and this is why you just keep rolling with the punches, guys, is should you do honors college along with the engineering curriculum? There is a big concern that honors college is going to be too burdensome on top of what our students are already doing in the classroom. And so I don't want that to be a concern for our students. And so we have George with us. George is the Director of Student Services for the Judy and Bobby Shackles Honors College. So George, take it away.
First of all, she just shot me a text that said Joy is going to kill me for that. Yeah, let's talk a little about honors and engineering specifically. Just know that well over 40% of the Shackles Honors College is made up of engineering students. So it's not like there's just this small pool of students from any one college that I'm going to maybe let other people join because I know I'm getting interrupted by the pings. But you don't just have small numbers of students from any college, really. Engineering, by and large, comes in with the highest average GPA and ACT range at the university other than honors. So naturally, they're going to gravitate toward us. Just know the average ACT GPA for honors right now for incoming freshmen is a 31 and somewhere above a 4.0. We don't weigh it, so it's like a 4.0. If you have a 30 or higher and a 3.75 or higher by December 1st, you will receive an invitation to join the Honors College. There will be no application process for you. You just have to click yes like 4 times. Like, yeah, I want it. I'm serious. I want to join the Honors College. Please stop asking me. Yes, I want to do this. That's basically what it boils down to. What we're asking you, take one honors course per academic year, maintain a 3.4 GPA, and do some kind of capstone experience. I know a lot of people hear the words thesis and capstone and they have no clue what those mean. It's just a culmination. If you want to write a thesis, it'll count. If you want to do a design project or a business product development, that'll count as a capstone as well. If you're doing research and want to present it, that'll count. Our whole goal is not to hinder your experience. It's to provide a whole world of opportunity. And I mean that. The Honors College is the largest supporter scholarship-wise for study abroad at the university. My joke, and I may get in trouble, is you can pretty much travel anywhere in the world you want as long as it's not North Korea. And we'll send you there. I would love to see a student go to Antarctica, but we had in honors 18 students at Oxford this year. We had 3 students get accepted to Glasgow, Scotland, but that got canceled by Scotland. We've had students this year in Prague and Italy and Germany. They're doing just fine. They're having great experiences. We're also the largest financial supporter of you doing research opportunities. So we can provide honors fellowships for you to do summer research here at the university, and or we can help you do research at other institutions, whether they're government labs, private labs, or university labs. Kelsey was talking about a student, Reese Dunn. Last summer, he had what we call an REU. It's a research experience for undergraduates. He was participating with Johns Hopkins University. This summer, he's participating with Stanford. He's an astronaut scholar. He's a Goldwater scholar. He's just awesome. I want to be Reese when I grow up. And that is not a lie. It's just a great opportunity for you. On top of that, housing. So we are just like everybody else. We're considered new housing, roommate, private bath. The only difference is we're on the north end of campus, but in our facilities, in all 3 of our buildings, we have residence, classroom, honors offices, meeting space. One of the buildings houses a library and a computer lab. We've designated this year some space for student organizations as well. It's an academic village. We call it a residential college. What we find are students who participate and live in honors housing their freshman year generally stay in honors, but they also have higher GPAs, not only than non-honor students, but higher GPAs than honor students who chose not to live in honors housing. So there's a whole lot we can do for you. My title is Director of Student Services. I oversee advising, communication, recruitment, outreach. I do everything that I'm told to do. Which is pretty much what happens when you're a staffer at a university. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am also going to give my cell phone number just because I find students are really good at just going, hey, I have a quick question. So if you want it, it's 662-341-6350. Joy's recording this, so you'll have it later, but please feel free to reach out if you've got questions about application, admission, study abroad, research, honors housing, fellowship support, you name it. I'm glad to help out in any way I can. I do appreciate your time because it's your time. It's the middle of the summer and you're here with us. So thank you guys.
Thank you, George. Please don't end the meeting. Just leave the meeting.
I am not a co-host.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, George, thank you so much. I really wanted you guys to be able to hear that from George and the Honors College. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Just somebody looked confused, so I want to make sure. But anyway, so now that you've heard from the College of Business and the Shackles Honors College, I really want you guys to be able to hear from current students. So we have 3 of our current students with us. I'm very excited to have them, but one of them I have not seen, or actually 2 of them I have not seen almost all summer. So it's really kind of cool to be able to see their faces. I work with Katherine in the dean's office every week, so I've seen her. But again, we're talking about ways to optimize your education here at Mississippi State. The biggest concern about engineering and its curriculum is about the stress of your coursework, and are you able to really be involved? Well, at Mississippi State, we believe in the power of one. We see a higher success rate of students when they are involved with at least one student organization. So we have Kaylee Wright with us. Kaylee is from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. She is a senior in mechanical engineering, which is crazy. And she is going to talk to you about getting involved and tell you a little bit about her experience here at Mississippi State. So Kaylee, take it away.
Great. So first off, I'm going to excuse the background. I'm actually traveling right now for my internship. I'm in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. I'm going to visit a hydro site later tomorrow, so this is not the normal setup for me. But yeah, my name's Kaylee Wright. I'm actually senior by credits, going into my junior year, 3rd year here. And being involved is something that I'm really passionate about, and something that I am involved with a couple of organizations on campus. So getting involved is, I think, one of probably the most important things you can do going into college, especially either you're going in freshman year or as a transfer. It's the best way to meet people, period. So as an engineering student, I remember coming in and people telling me that I wasn't going to have a social life, I wasn't going to be able to be involved, I wasn't going to be able to join any Greek life, nothing. That all I was going to do is eat, sleep, and study. And that is completely wrong. So I'm a part of Greek life. I'm actually a vice president for my sorority. I'm a part of engineering recruitment leaders, which is why I'm talking to you all today. I'm a part of Marine VIP, which is a tour services group here on campus, and a couple different professional organizations. So to give you a little synopsis about me, I'm involved in a good bit, which I like to be busy. So it keeps me out of trouble, keeps me on my toes, and keeps life interesting. So if you're like that, and I think probably a lot of you all are, because if you choose engineering, you kind of want to be hands-on and doing stuff. So I'd assume you kind of are a go-getter. So getting involved is just right for you. One of the things about getting involved is there's so many different facets you can go into. So with professional societies, like for me, I'm a mechanical engineering major, so American Society of Mechanical Engineers. There's a lot of different ones, depending on your major that you're in. And then also I'm a part of SWE, which is Society of Women Engineers. Those 2 professional organizations are great for networking and getting ready for your career in a couple years, but also meeting people within your major. Both of those organizations are actually how I got my internship right now. So that's a little testament to how powerful networking within those organizations can be. And also just meeting people in those groups that are most likely going to be sitting next to you in a class next week, or you probably are going to have to do a group project with. Is super great, but also with just getting involved on-campus organizations like student association, getting involved with student government, cabinet, senate. Those are really, really great things. Freshman groups, which I think have been renamed this upcoming year. Freshman focus, possibly. Do not quote me on that. But those are a great asset too, to get to meet people. Also, if you're interested in Greek life, that is definitely a possibility. A lot of students are involved with Greek life on campus, and a lot of students aren't. That's not a requirement to find friends on campus at all. I think that's one of the best things about Mississippi State. Also, there's a bunch of different religious groups if you're interested in that, political groups if that is more your type of scene. So regardless of what you're interested in, Mississippi State has a place that you will belong to and a group of people that you will become friends with. Also, with getting involved, one thing I think is important to point out is you need to become friends with people outside of your major, because it kind of balances out sometimes your stress level. You'll have a really hard test week and you'll have somebody else who's in a different major who's just chilling, doesn't have any tests, and you kind of balance each other out. You can go rant to each other, go hang out with each other, because having people in different majors, it just makes life a lot better, so you're not all stressed at the same exact time. So yeah, getting involved is definitely something I would advise every single person on this call to do. There's hundreds, and I mean, when I say hundreds, I'm not being dramatic, of organizations on campus. So there's definitely a place for every single one of you to get involved in. Also, side tidbit, what Kelsey was talking about, the MVP program, I'm actually a part of that. So, and that's also how I've met a lot of people that maybe necessarily aren't in engineering, but they're in a STEM major. So if you're interested in it, I would recommend going for it. It's a great program. I've done 4 semesters of it and I do not regret it one bit. So I think that's all for me. Feel free to reach out to me. I don't have my phone number on here, but you can find me, you can email me at my net ID, which is kw2125@mississippistate.edu. If you have any questions, but I guess I'll give it back to Joy.
Thank you, Kaylee. Yeah, so Kaylee is actually interning right now with the TVA. So she didn't say that, but that is what she is doing. So she gets to travel and do all the fun things and learn all about the Tennessee Valley Authority. So we are very thankful that she was able to give up her evening this evening to talk with you guys about getting involved. As we talk about internships and co-ops, that is probably one of the biggest things that we push within the College of Engineering to really enrich your education. It is taking those concepts that you're learning in the classroom and putting them to literal work. And so currently, you've seen Kaylee. Now we have Zachary Poindexter with us. Zach is from Starkville, Mississippi. I know he went really far from home. He is also a senior in mechanical engineering, but I'm going to let him tell you about his co-op experience that he's actually finishing up right now.
Thanks, Joy. Can y'all hear me? Perfect. Yeah, so like Joy said, I'm Zachary Poindexter. I did not leave home very far. I grew up 10 minutes away from campus. As Joy said, I actually am finishing up my co-op. I'm on my 3rd rotation. And one of the biggest, actually, when I had a chance to talk about co-ops and internships, I jumped on it because I absolutely love it. And when we talk about enhancing your learning experience at Mississippi State, especially in engineering, I think co-ops and internships is one of the best ways you can do that. So one of the questions we get a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it now before someone asks it, is what's the difference between co-ops and internships? So co-ops and internships are basically the same thing, except a co-op is usually 3 terms at a company, so it equals out to about a year worth of work experience. And then an internship is usually just 1 term, and it's usually over a summer. So what co-ops and internships allows you to do is it allows you to take a break from the classroom and go out and get work experience. Which work experience is a really big thing nowadays, because a lot of companies, when you graduate and you start applying for jobs, which we're all going to have to do at one point. I'm a senior, so it's happening a lot sooner than I expected. They're going to want you to have that experience. They're going to want you to have a little bit of work experience at least. And so that's what co-ops and internships is so great about giving you. Currently, I am on my 3rd rotation with GE Appliances. I work at Monogram Refrigeration, which is an LLC of GE Appliances. So they're owned by GE, but they're called their own, they have their own name, but they're owned and funded by GE Appliances. So we make refrigerators and we make air conditioners. When you walk into a hotel room and you see the horizontal window unit, that's what we make. And I worked on that for 8 months last year. And this year I get to work on the refrigerators. And so I've kind of got to change up what I'm doing and my job and what I'm working with. I'm actually in a different building. We have 2 buildings, so I've worked in both now. And so that's one reason I like co-ops. The 3 terms and the 1 year of experience gives you, I mean, that's almost 12 months of time with one company. So it allows you to network with the managers and the vice presidents and the CEOs and all that of that company. It gives you 12 months to work on a project, things like that. And I really, when people ask me, which one do I prefer? Because I've actually also done an internship. The first thing I did was a internship at 26 Advanced Materials, which is in the research park out at Starkville. So I've actually done both. And one thing I say when people ask me which one do I like better, they're both great and they both have their benefits. But personally, I think co-op gives you a little better experience just with the amount of time you're spending with one company. Some people are like, well, what if I don't know what to do, what company I want to go to? And that's when you may want to look at internships. Internships allows you to do multiple companies. You can do one company one summer, come back to school, one company the next summer. And 3 to 4 summers of your 4 years, you can spend with 3 or 4 different companies and kind of get a feel of what you might want. But if you kind of have an idea of where you want to end up, if you want where you want to go, I think co-op is a great experience. It lets you get, like I said, 12 months with the same company, and you really get to build relationships. I have met and worked with almost every engineer at Monogram Refrigeration now because of the 12 months I've spent there. I will be coming back to Starkville on August 13th, and I will be on campus, and that will be officially the end of my co-op with Monogram. And I've worked with just about every engineer that at Monogram Refrigeration over the 2 or 3 buildings, and that's what 12 months allows you to have. But like I said, as far as enhancing your learning experience, I personally think co-ops and internships is an amazing way to do that. It gives you work experience, which is invaluable. The things you learn on the job in the workforce is invaluable. It's something that you can't necessarily get in the classroom. And then on top of that, what you learn in the workforce helps you in the classroom. After 8 months last year working at GE, I came back for one of the hardest years, I would have to say, in my opinion, of mechanical engineering, which was my junior year. The classes were, challenging, but the work experience I had from GE Appliances made it a lot easier and helped me succeed for sure. But yeah, I think that's about it. I will talk about career day and interview days. So career days is where we have 270 plus companies come to campus if it's in person, which hopefully it will be. They come to what we call the Hump, which is our basketball stadium, and it allows you to walk around and you can talk to all of them, all 270 of them if you want to. You can give resumes to all 270 of them if you want to. And it kind of gets you acclimated with different companies and they come and recruit you. And then interview days, you can go and sign up for those interview slots for different companies. Each company has like 10 to 15 slots, somewhere around in there. And you can go sign up for however many interviews you want, as long as you fit them in your schedule, things like that. But if y'all have any questions, I'm going to be staying on till the end. We have a Q&A slot set up at the end. Just drop them in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you want. And other than that, I'm going to turn it over to Joy.
Thank you, Zach. So co-ops and internships, again, great investments in your future. A big question is, is it going to add time to, my time at Mississippi State? All of our curriculum are 4 years, 8 semesters. Co-ops are typically a 12-month investment So it does typically take 5 years to complete your degree. With that being said, we've actually seen students graduate quicker with higher GPAs and with higher starting salaries when they have co-op and internship experience. So that investment in your future really is invaluable. It's really hard to quantify that, but I think Kaylee and Zach can probably talk to you more, especially during the Q&A time, about what they've learned while they've been on the job site. But we're not stopping there. So we have one more section we're going to talk about, and this is something that's really important to us at Mississippi State, and that is research. Mississippi State is the leading research institution in the state of Mississippi. We are also one of the top 100 research institutions in the nation by the National Science Foundation. Last year, Mississippi State did around $260 million in research. That research had a $1.8 billion economic impact in the state of Mississippi. The College of Engineering did over 60 million of that. So we have over 100 faculty doing active research on our campus. And that is available to our undergraduate students. So I'm going to stop talking because I want you to hear from someone who's done research on our campus. And so Katherine Walgamotte is with us. She is from Slidell, Louisiana. I almost put New Orleans on here because she's really a New Orleans girl, but she is a senior in biomedical engineering, and she has done some research. So I'm going to let her tell you about her experience.
Hi, can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, like Joy said, my name is Katherine. I am a senior in biomedical engineering here. My research was, first of all, the best thing that happened to me while I'm at Mississippi State because unfortunately, my internship got canceled due to COVID. And biomedical engineering, from what I've kind of paid attention to with the rest of my classmates, is one of those majors where we don't really do the co-ops and the internships more than we do research. We're primarily doing research. I know a lot of my friends that are in the same major as me are also doing research on campus, and I technically did not do research within the College of Engineering. It was within the College of Arts and Sciences, but it was applicable to engineering classes, and I got credit for it, which is great. So basically, I did the genetic assessment of different types of cotton. And so basically, I got to go into the greenhouses where they grow the cotton, which is really cool. Mississippi State has all these beautiful greenhouses filled with all these plants that they like just grow from the start, and then also they sell it. I love the plant sale, by the way. But also, so I got to go into the greenhouse, pick the little leaves off the thing, and I got to spend full days in lab where I personally was putting them into these little tubes, and then I had to put it into this expensive, like, $1 million machine that little on me was so scared of breaking, but I didn't, luckily. And I got to actually see, like, do hands-on what I assumed I want to do for the rest of my life, because I, with my degree, plan on becoming a geneticist. And so since I was able to actually sit there and do what they do all day, I did the pipetting, and then I got to do like the gel imaging of all of my like DNA to see which bands occur and which bands we can remove. So like it was genetic engineering where we would remove certain bands, and I would be removing genes from certain plants in order to make them less interactive with a certain herbicide called, I think it's commonly called 2,4-D. I cannot remember the big long name. It's like 7 different chemicals or whatever. And so that's what I was doing. I know people here who are doing like bone scaffolding research, cardiac research. There's all kinds of different opportunities. And the easiest way to get involved with research is by just talking to your professors. More often than not, your professors love to talk about their research because, I mean, it doesn't like to talk about themselves. But, and they're all, something that is very unique about Mississippi State is that your professors are going to be more than happy to have undergrads in the lab because they want you to get that hands-on student. I mean, hands-on, sorry, I was reading the chat. That hands-on experience, and they want to give it to a student who is very, very like into the class that they're teaching. So sit in the front of your classes, talk to your professors. That's how I landed my research opportunity. And also, the coolest thing about our research area now at Mississippi State is that we have kind of like deduced it all into this little portal where basically now you can go onto the Mississippi State website and you can look up research opportunities, and it'll give you like a list of every single research project that is happening currently on campus that is looking for help, and you can just apply straight through there. It'll tell you who you need to email, whether or not it's a paid position, which is the best, because while my position wasn't paid, like I said, I got class credit for it, which is like, I'll take class credit. But I mean, also a lot of it is paid. And plus I know even if you don't want to do the serious, like if you don't want to do the engineering research, I took a psychology class, and the requirements for that class was having to go and get involved with psychology research that's happening here on campus. And just for doing that, I got like a $50 Walmart gift card. So if you're ever in need of cash, go to that portal and you will likely find some kind of opportunity. And plus it's fun. Sometimes they like put these little electrodes on me once. It was really interesting. Or I had to do a test that they had handed out to a bunch of people. But I mean, back to engineering research. Like I said, mine wasn't within the College of Engineering, but within the College of Engineering itself, there are probably hundreds of opportunities. Like I said, if you talk to your professors, they're likely will, for every major, not just biomedical engineering, there's mechanical, there's all kinds of different research projects happening. And like Zachary mentioned earlier, we have our research park it's actually right across from my apartment. I'm sitting outside, so I'm staring at it right now. But basically they have their CAVS, which is the Center for Advanced Vehicular Systems. We have the HPC squared, which is our supercomputer, which can do about 5 million or billion computations per second or something like that. I don't know if it's with an M or a B, but it's a lot, still a big number. There's also our RASPIT Flight Laboratory. Mississippi State is the leading research institution for unmanned aircraft. I can't remember the full name. It's a mouthful, but basically we do a lot of drone research, which is, if you're in aerospace, if you're interested in that, this is definitely the place to be. I have some friends who have done top secret research with RASPIT. They're like, I actually am not allowed to talk about what I researched because it was for the government. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And some of those people doing those like amazing opportunities are like my age. And I'm like, wow, people my age are going out there working for the government doing these top secret like types of things. So I find that like me doing research is what was best for me. Honestly, I would have loved to have done my internship, but I'm okay with just having my research because I'm also in the honors college, just like Mr. George was talking about earlier. You have to do a capstone where, luckily, out of my research, I got to write an entire like thesis where, and it's like available to be published in like a research type of paper situation. And I think I heard through the grapevine I am allowed to turn that in as my honors capstone project, so that I already have that out of the way and I don't even graduate till next May. Which is super awesome. It was kind of like a 2 birds, 1 stone situation. I got class credit, I got my capstone project done, and it was a great opportunity. I made really great friends out of it. It definitely also helped narrow down exactly specifically what I want to do in the realm of genetic engineering. And so similarly to co-ops and internships, it's a great way to really figure out, okay, am I heading in the right direction? Am I doing what I really want to do? And am I happy with where I'm going? I think that's about all I have, so I'll give it back to Joy now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katherine. So our supercomputer does 5 quadrillion computations per second. So a little bit more than a billion, but it is the 5th fastest supercomputer in academia in the U.S. So Katherine was on track with that one. It does compute really quickly. But we also have our high voltage lab, which is the largest privately owned high voltage laboratory in North America. So I tell students if they like to break stuff or blow stuff up or, they're pyros, then that is a great lab to get involved in. So we love talking about all of the research that is available to our students on the undergraduate level. So if you are interested in learning more about our research opportunities, you are able to actually go on the Bagley website, and we do have a research tab. And all of the projects that we can talk about are listed on that website. So feel free to go and look at that. We really encourage you to do that. And this is like fun stuff. It's getting your hands dirty, doing the actual work. So It's not boring. I can promise you that. Now, what's new with the College of Engineering this year? At the beginning of tonight's event, I told you guys that we have 13 majors. This is our first year to have our cybersecurity undergraduate program. So we are very excited for that. I don't want to steer anyone wrong. Mississippi State has had a master's program in cybersecurity and operations. We actually are one of the very few schools in the nation to have all 3 distinctions by the National Security Agency in cybersecurity. We have just now expanded that underneath our computer science and engineering program to include cybersecurity as an undergraduate program. So we are really excited about that. So we have our 8 departments, our 13 majors. There is something for everyone in the College of Engineering at Mississippi State. If you are creative, and a lot of engineering students will tell me, oh, I'm not creative. Engineers are some of the most creative people you will ever meet. But creative, we are training the future problem solvers of tomorrow. So with that being said, do not let this kind of pass you by. Again, we talk about when to apply. So we say, are you Bagley bound? You've heard Bulldog bound. Are you applying to Mississippi State? Well, something to remember when you start filling out your application on August 1st is there is no secondary application to the College of Engineering at Mississippi State. We evaluate you off of your application to the university. The general application that opens up on August 1st, max 15 minutes to fill out. I promise you it is not difficult. So what you need to make sure that you have to be ready to upload can be your ACT, your SAT scores, if you have those, and your high school transcripts, or you can request those from your high school. It's a $40 application fee. We do take application fee waivers. If you are eligible for that fee waiver, you would get that from your high school counselor, and that would be sent in to us. And then you're going to fill out that application. Mississippi State we do rolling admissions. So once we get a completed application, it takes you about 2 weeks to get a decision. Usually within that first application range, it could take up to 3 weeks, just depending on our processing time. So we don't make you wait. We do evaluate you off of your application to the university. In the College of Engineering, we do have higher admission standards than the university as a whole. So we do look at your high school GPA and your ACT or SAT score. So if you have a 23 ACT or an 1130 SAT or a high school core GPA of a 3.5 or higher, you're going to be automatically admitted into the College of Engineering. If you have a 20 to a 22 or a 1030 to an 1120 SAT with a 3.0 core GPA or higher, then you're going to be automatically admitted. So do not let that stress you out. If you've not taken your ACT or SAT yet, we have ways of evaluating you without your test score. However, for scholarships, we do need to have your ACT and SAT score, and we do super score here at Mississippi State. Now, why is it important to apply early if it's not competitive and there's rolling admissions? Well, because you can't apply for housing or for scholarships until you've been admitted. And I know that everybody is asking about scholarships right now. So the College of Engineering at Mississippi State, we have one first-time freshman scholarship. That is the Engineering Excellence Scholarship. It is awarded to multiple students. It varies year to year, and the amounts can change. But to apply for that scholarship, students have to have at least a 30 on the ACT to apply for that, and the equivalent of a 30 on the SAT. With that being said, it's a holistic review. So once you fill out your general scholarship application, if you qualify for the Engineering Excellence application, it will pre-populate underneath that general scholarship app. You'll fill that out. You'll submit an essay, letters of recommendation, and your resume, and you go into a holistic review. Those awards are typically made the first week of February. Okay. So you'll know if you're awarded that, you'll be notified, and you'll have until that May 1st, which is the national decision date, to make that decision. With that being said, don't stress out, okay? If for some reason you don't, get that scholarship, once you've been here for a semester, you can apply for additional scholarships. So do not fret. You have to reapply to be considered for additional scholarships. You have to reapply every year. And Get those in. Now, if you get the automatic awards through the admissions office, those will renew every 4 years as long as you every year for 4 years, as long as you maintain a 3.0 GPA. I will also let you know this. The engineering scholarship is not automatic. Okay, so it is competitive, and our deadline for the application is December the 1st. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, for the automatic awards, you can submit your ACT or SAT scores up until the February test date of your senior year. But to be considered for competitive scholarships, all of that has to be in by December 1st. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Now, there's a couple of questions about scholarships in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and answer those. One of those is there a specific scholarship for out-of-state students who don't have their major available in their state? I think, Adeline, what you are asking about is something called Academic Common Market. I'm going to put my email up here right after. Well, I'm going to put it up right now because it just would be easier. Adeline, I want you to email me because these are conversations that we need to have on a case-by-case basis, because Academic Common Market is state-specific. So my answer would be different for all 50 states. So why don't we have a chat offline, maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, and we can talk through that. Now, Bakari, you asked, are early applications or regular applications binding? No. No. Mississippi State does not require early acceptance or early decision. We have rolling admissions, so your applications are not binding. If you choose not to come to Mississippi State, you just cancel your application. Zachary, you asked, am I correct in saying that you have to have one capstone project within your 4 years to graduate with honors? Yes. Yes. And yes, Annabelle, we do accept applications through the Common Application, but let me just say this. If where you live on our campus is very important to you, when you apply to Mississippi State is very important. So I would encourage you to fill out the application on our website if that is something that you are concerned about. Common App, absolutely. We do take that. So if you've already filled that out and taken the 4 years that it takes to fill that out, I'm just kidding. It doesn't take 4 years. But it is an intensive application. I will tell you, if you've already gotten that filled out and ready to go, that's understandable. But I will tell you, I would encourage you to fill out our application on our website. It takes max 15 minutes to fill that out. And it's not difficult at all, I promise. Zach, you asked, will Mississippi State accept SuperScore on the ACT? Absolutely. Yes, we do accept SuperScore for the ACT. Yes, y'all are asking great questions. So guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the exciting time. You know, we're gearing up for college applications, and I wanted to offer you guys a time to hear from current students and some of our campus partners tonight. But this is only the beginning. So stay in contact with me. That's why I have all of my contact information on the screen. I have 2 screens right now on the screen. I am probably one of the most accessible people on this campus. Please, please, please stay in contact with me. If you have questions, if you need anything. I will tell you my preferred method of contact is email. I work with a lot of students. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. I don't forget faces. I'm just going to tell y'all that now. But email me, let me know if you have any questions or need anything. Come visit us on campus. We want to see you on campus. You get to meet people like Kaylee or Zach or Katherine, more than likely. If not, there's 40 other students that are part of engineering recruitment leaders that meet with current students whenever school's in session. So make sure that you kind of keep up with that. We're going to have a really big event in February. It's going to be called Academic Insight. This is what I call the Super Bowl of my job. It is the most fun day. It's also the most stressful day. And we're going to pray that there is no ice-pocalypse this year like there was last year. That will be on a Friday in February. It is only for admitted engineering students. So you will get an invite if you're admitted to Mississippi State for engineering within the first week of January. And I will tell you that our event sells out. Sells out as in like it fills up. It's actually free to come to it. But it fills up very quickly. So we encourage you to do that because we have alums that come and speak, our deans speak. You get to go on tours with your departments, meet department heads. Students like Kaylee and Zach and Katherine actually help run the event. So they get to be around all day. We have an organization fair. It's just a really great time for you to really get connected to the campus community, whether it's you're, deciding on Mississippi State or you've decided, or maybe you're looking for a roommate. We've had students that found their roommate at Academic Insight. So keep a lookout for events that are going to be here on campus. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is that we have a newsletter that is released every month at the beginning of the month. I am not going to bombard your email with a ton of emails because I know that y'all aren't reading them. But one thing I will tell you is that on our website, once a month, I publish a newsletter that has all of the updates for that month. Feel free to go to our newsroom on the website, look at that, read that. You get to meet a current student. You get to get a fast fact from our dean. And then also there's some other news stories that you would see on there. Just stay connected. Then also I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram as @MSStateJoy. We're going to have some really fun things in the fall, especially where you can follow an engineering student for a day. So it's going to be a lot more fun this year because they aren't looking at computer screens. We're back to 100% in the classroom. So that is exciting for our students. So it's going to be really interesting to see all 23,000 of the students on Mississippi State's campus. With that being said, if you need a text, because I know that high school students don't love talking on the phone, you can text my work cell. Or you can pick up the phone and call my office. Whichever way that you need to get in contact with me, you are welcome to get in contact with me. There's one question I'm seeing, Alexander. Hello. Do you need your list of activities, resume, or count of volunteer hours from the initial application? No. You will need that for your scholarship application, but you do not need that for your application to Mississippi State. Unless you're filling out the common application, and I think they require that, or they ask you for that. If you're doing our proprietary apply.msstate.edu website, no, you don't have to list all of that for the general application. Great. Any other questions? No. Thank you, Adeline. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. It was nice to have over 40 students with us, so I'm very excited to see all of your applications roll through. After that August 1st application, Alexander, great. I'm excited that you're going to be filling out that MSU application. We are excited to welcome you guys to the Bagley family. It really is a big family here on our campus. So y'all stay safe and healthy in Hill State. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.